Hello, and welcome to the Yoga Teachers Talking Yoga podcast. In this new 6-part series of interviews, we'll talk to yoga teachers both established and emerging. We'll find out what got them into yoga, why they became teachers, how they got started, the teaching and practice styles, who inspires them, and what their plans are for the future. Today my guest is Katie Brown, teacher and author from Katie Brown Yoga. Katie's passion is in relaxation and combines restorative yoga poses with soothing breathing practices purpose-built to still the mind and allow the body to heal. She's published books, including the Relaxation Rainbow, and has designed courses that develop healthy bodies and happy minds. Before we get started with the interview, just to let you know that Katie and I met in the leafy surrounds of one of Sydney's premier nurseries. Whilst the surrounding ambiance was lovely, it did get quite noisy. With the wonders of modern editing, we've managed to remove most of the background noise, but we do apologise for any residual background noise affecting your enjoyment of this great interview. Hello, Katie.
Hi, Paul.
Are we good?
Yeah, I'm very well. It's lovely to be here, so thanks, Paul.
My pleasure. Got a lot to go through, so let's dive right in and start at the beginning about what got you into yoga.
Wow, okay, because it's actually interesting because this year I've been teaching for 25 years, so I've been doing a bit of reflecting, and I guess what got me into yoga was rewind many, many years ago, and I was living in the UK. I was only about 14 years old, and I came across a book in the library, and it was called Lynn Marshall's Everyday Yoga. And I don't even know what drew me to that book because it, but I just remember being, there were photos, it was really clear to follow, and I just really enjoyed doing the yoga poses. But it wasn't just the physical feeling. I realized that it made me feel really calm and relaxed. And I guess at that point in my life, I was pretty anxious, as most teenagers are. And I just loved the book. But it was always something I kind of lent into a little bit, but I didn't do formally at all for a few years later when I ended up becoming a journalist. And I was working on a magazine, and the deadlines were pretty full on because it was a weekly women's magazine, national title. And around the corner from where I worked was a yoga studio, and it was wonderful because it was just a natural thing. I'd go in my lunch hour, and I loved the yoga. And then I kind of fell into, I didn't actually intend to teach, but kind of by accident, one of the girls I was working with she found out about this amazing teaching course. She told me about it. It was the IYTTY4, which stands for International Yoga Teachers Association. And I thought, you know what, I love doing courses. And up to that point, I'd done an aerobics instructor's course, and I'd done a massage therapist course. So I love to do,
Well-rounded.
always loved kind of health type industry anyway.
And learning about it and getting into it.
Yeah, so I signed up for this yoga teaching course, and then she decided she wasn't going to do it, and I found myself there on my own. Yeah, not intending to be a teacher at all, but I really loved it, and
And how many were doing the course when you went into it? How big was the room back then?
Yeah, at that time we had correspondence students, which was amazing, and so all the lectures were videoed. It wasn't online as it then ended up being, but we used to get these cassette tapes as well. But I was doing it in person, and at that time it was in Greenwich in Sydney, and it was run every weekend, one weekend every month, and it was over the course of a year. And so I guess it was a bit of a journey. At the time I was working full time. I'd only recently immigrated to Australia, and while I was doing the course, my mum was diagnosed with cancer, and she actually passed away by the time, just before I finished the course. So for me, it was not just an amazing thing to learn, but it was a real support at a time that I really needed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lifeline for me.
In meditating or meditation?
Yeah, I think it was.
To focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. The philosophy was amazing, the breath work, the yoga. But I think that's the other thing that yoga offers. It was not just that, it was the connection to people on the course, to the lecturers, to all the wisdom that they had and the experience, the life experience, and being able to see those people once a month. And that meant so much. I absolutely loved it. And so yoga is such a holistic practice. It's not just about going on the mat and doing a few rounds of salute to the sun. It's it's just multi-layered.
So do you think those go hand in hand? Are they as important as each other in the way you practice and experience yoga?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we obviously went online during COVID, but that was just as important. It was great to have that connection there, but nothing beats that face-to-face, in-person experience that you can get with people. So it's multidimensional. But yoga itself, we talk about the koshas, the 5 different layers. It's such a integrational, wonderful practice that it kind of meets you where you're at, when you need, and it fills the need that you need at that particular time. So yeah, all about acceptance, the way life kind of naturally unfolds, but also about not being in your head all the time and coming into your body, because most of us are so kind of disconnected with our bodies. We're so busy, we've got deadlines, and everything in life draws us away from being in our body. And yoga is that opportunity to kind of come within and notice what your body's telling you, because your body is infinitely wise, and we don't seem to give it that credit that it deserves. So,
So what sort of styles of yoga were you drawn to? You talked about going around the corner, so whatever was there is what you did.
Well, that was our Iyengar, and then I did Ashtanga. I think I've kind of gone through each of the different styles of yoga and it's, I think, a bit like traveling. The more you do some travel, the more you realize you don't actually know, and that the more places you've got to see. So it was a little bit like that with my yoga journey. I love and I like to do a blend of yoga. Actually, now I've done the trainings I've done yin yoga. I've obviously done hatha yoga, which was the IYTA was based on that classical hatha yoga.
Yes.
I love Japanese yoga. I love Drew yoga. I've actually done a Qi Gong level 1 training as well, because I think for me, I love that gentle flow. Pranayama is such a huge part of yoga. And I love bringing that into the classes and the offerings that I have. Restorative, of course. I used to teach pre and postnatal, and I guess I've always been drawn to the yoga that's been the stage that I've been at the time. So for a long time I did, actually, because I've got 3 children, I taught prenatal, and that was my specialist area, and then it was postnatal. But I think it was when I was teaching prenatal that I did a bit of a shift in towards the importance and value of restorative and the just slow yoga practices and guided relaxations, because I could see how amazing the practices of prenatal yoga were, and women were connecting to their babies, to their bodies, and it just didn't seem fair. It was just prenatal women who were experiencing that. So I guess I've kind of tried to develop that and offer that to everybody, at whatever stage of yoga or age or stage that they are.
It's impressive. So it's quite a variety, and then so much knowledge and so much awareness.
Yeah, I think I love to sort of see the strands, and I'm quite creative, so I like to kind of weave them together for all the different practices, but they also be fairly open to, not really have a particular plan for a class, but have an idea of how it's going to flow, and then just take my cues from the students who were there, and also the season and the general energy, and maybe what's even happening in the world, because we all pick up on all of those things. So I really like to just kind of lean into that and go with the flow of the class and teach intuitively, which I think, once you've been teaching for a number of years, you feel more confident doing that. And it's the times when I've thrown the plans away that I feel that I've had the best classes. So, when I do longer classes, because I do kind of new and full moon classes, and I run those there kind of about 1 hour and 3/4 up to 2 hours. And I always just kind of just check in with people at the beginning, just sort of, a word or two of how they're feeling, and then I can kind of pick up on the mood and the energy and go with that really as well.
That's lovely. And so you were practicing a little bit. You weren't really considering teaching. You talked about when you went in and did YTTA and went in with a friend, but why did you decide to do that?
The teaching, that's interesting because at the time, like I just lost my mum, and I think when I was doing the course, it kind of dawned on me like this is an amazing wealth of knowledge that I'm picking up from all these wonderful lecturers, because I guess that's what set the IYTA apart. It wasn't just kind of led by one or two people. It was a whole kind of about a dozen or at least lecturers, so with years and years of combined knowledge. And so you kind of felt like you almost had a duty to teach it after doing that depth of learning and study. So and then it just happened as well that I fell pregnant after my mum passed away, shortly after mum passed away, and I was doing a prenatal yoga class, and the women teaching the prenatal class said to me, I'm leaving and I need someone to take this over. And it was like, I was actually, oh my God, I'm going to have to teach. Oh my God. But and also not only that, but a prenatal yoga class. But I stepped into it and I loved it. And then my pregnancy continued. And then when I had my first baby, Lucas, who's now 23, I was told that my job was a full-time or nothing gig. And I just couldn't, like for so many reasons, I couldn't go full time. And so I was, again, kind of left into this situation where I was like, well, I should just kind of, I think that's the thing with yoga is once you stop overthinking it and you just go with the flow. And it was almost like doors were opening and I was trying to, and that the doors I was trying to push open just weren't opening. And then I was like, okay, well, this door's opening. So I quit my job. And I had a baby, and I did some freelancing, and I just stepped into yoga, and I started teaching, and actually, that was 25 years ago, and I haven't stopped really.
And then sort of gradually built its way as we've gone through these years. To, oh my God, how am I going to make this happen? To establishing and always in Australia. Was
always on the northern beaches. I haven't really left this spot. I mean, it's beautiful, so why would I really? But I mean, I've got 3 children now, and everyone's very happy here. So but it has been difficult because obviously it's expensive to live in this area, So I've had to try and make it work for me financially and practically. I don't have a extended family around. We've had kind of lots of, as everybody does, lots of challenges thrown our way. So I guess I do feel proud that I've managed to consistently teach for 25 years. And I've had to adjust the way I teach. Everything's changed a lot.
And in GFC's COVID, to name a couple of things that can get in the way of a healthy career in any front.
Yeah, that's right. And when I first started, there weren't many yoga teachers out there. And suddenly, there was a whole range of courses. Like when I first did the IYTA, there weren't many teaching courses, and that was a whole year. And it was a big commitment, but it's not regulated. So over the years, as yoga became more popular, which is fantastic, but then more courses started popping up all over the place too, which were shorter and maybe not quite as in depth. So it's been a really, really fascinating time to kind of sit and watch that all unfold. Really important. I mean, as social media and technology has, obviously when I first started, we were having cassette tapes,
So in the way you teach and the sorts of work that you do teach, what's the reward for Kate? Is it seeing people develop? Fair enough.
Again, there are loads of rewards because it's personally like what my yoga practice has helped me through, and that's huge. It's really helped me feel balanced, calm, relaxed through, challenging situations, you know, obviously like the death of my mom and losing my job and my whole direction to, yeah, challenges as a parent that you have and go through, which has been way more than I was expecting when I first became a mum. And yeah, so personally it's amazing, and I'm able to kind of offer that to my family too. Yeah, but I always love it when new people come. Yeah, and obviously some people just can't continue for whatever reason. So yeah, I love the fact that now, because I've been teaching so many years, I'll go out and almost every time I go out, I'll see someone who I know through my yoga. And that's really great because I'm quite a social person. And yeah, so I like that aspect of it. I'm not in an office anymore, whereas I used to be, but it's yeah, lovely in that sense too.
And so the sort of loyalty and the resonate. When I was doing the course, and I know Katie because I too studied YTTY, and Katie was one of my lecturers during the course on postural work, particularly, wasn't it? And so that's how we've come to know each other, and why we're sitting here today. In fact, the YTTY closed its doors a couple of years ago, sadly, 56 years or so, or in the country, a pioneer in this country for yoga.
Yeah.
And you're, I'm sure, proud to have had the time you had in YTTY. You were 25 years, so you probably had a good 20 of those strong with YTTY, or near enough to.
Absolutely, yeah.
As a member or board member, or
I was fairly heavily involved, really. I guess that's because, again, I saw the value and it helped me so much. I love that connection.
Yes.
And I love the fact that, you know, as a community, we could share ideas, we could run workshops and connect. Because sometimes, you know, if you're teaching your own yoga classes, you're a little bit isolated in that sense from other teachers. So yeah, it's a great shame that we don't have YTTY anymore. I definitely miss that connection that we had.
It's such a great little family, really, of like-minded souls who are extremely talented and very well trained. And so since then, Yoga Australia has stepped in and allowed those YTTY members who are interested in remaining affiliated to come across. Is that something you did yourself?
Yeah, well, I was already a member of Yoga Australia anyway. So yeah, I actually am at the moment working with another ex-YTTY friend, Alexi Paul Pratt, and we actually kind of contacted and spoke with Yoga Australia because we felt like it'd be really nice to have a New South Wales catch up. Yeah, so I'm really hoping that maybe that kind of steps into that space that we've lost from the YTTY no longer being around. I think that's the whole core value of yoga. It's all about collaborating and sharing and that connection with yourself, but with others. So yeah, it's great to get yoga teachers together.
You think yourself as a yogi?
You know, it's funny because I kind of do and I don't. You know, I'm not someone who naturally gets up at 4 a.m. and meditates. I mean, if I'm often awake at 4 a.m, and I guess I do my yoga breathing and everything, but it's mainly to get myself back to sleep, you know. So, yeah, yeah, it's an interesting question. I do think of myself as a yogi, but probably more of an everyday yogi, a Western yogi rather than an Eastern yogi. I mean, I'd love to have that commitment to the practice, but the truth is I'm a working mother of 3 and yeah, there's only so much you can do.
You have to live your life too. Right?
You do, yeah.
Well, ever since Paramahansa Yogananda, who wrote the book Autobiography Yogi, I recommend everybody read it, was very much built around bringing the ability to be yogi in everyday life and not be separated and go to a cave for 30 years necessarily.
Yeah, there's certain things that you can weave into your day, you know, and that's what I try and impart to my students as well, you know, just the breathing, just being centered, just appreciating colours like the green around here for the heart chakra, feeling your heart centers open. There are so many things that you can do and you can just drip feed into your day, and that's what I try to do. Yeah.
Doing it rather well.
Thank you.
And well, it's incumbent as a yogi to imbibe as much of the awareness of living, of the experience of living, isn't it?
Yeah.
And really, the more it gets you, the maybe the better the teaching is, and maybe the more resonant you become with your followers.
Yeah, I think maybe you connect a little bit more sometimes because people know that maybe, you know, you've had a bad day.
Yeah.
And I can't be someone I'm not. Yeah, and
that's the whole point, isn't it? Is to revel in the fact that you've had a bad day.
Yeah.
I've experienced a bad day.
and also it's fun to keep your sense of humour as well.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
it's I often have a laugh with everyone when we're teaching. Because it's not that serious really. You know, you gotta, life's very serious as it is. So
yes, there are keys, and yes, there are your markers. You know you need to get to them.
Yeah.
But you might as well enjoy the process.
That's right. Yeah, I mean that's the whole point too, isn't it? Yeah, it's all about the journey, not the destination.
Absolutely. The B to Y, not just from A to Z.
Yeah. And then people want to enjoy coming to yoga as well. You know, they want to think of it as something that is going to enhance their evening or
And so, how often are you teaching yoga?
At the moment, it's around 7 classes a week. I think I've been trying not to teach too much, but I'm still writing, and I've actually managed to continue writing throughout my whole yoga career. And at the moment, I'm writing for a women's wellbeing site called Thrive Journey, which I love. And funnily enough, that connection came about through one of my mentors, Sarah Manning, from YTTY4. And I've done written some relaxations for them as well, and done some yoga. It's perfect for me. It kind of combines yoga and writing, because I love to write, and I was working as a freelance journalist, and unfortunately magazines have been a bit of a victim of our digital revolution that we've had.
Who are your inspirations?
Oh wow, yes. Again, that's right. I mean, to be honest with you, I've been always inspired by all the YTTY lecturers that I had. Amazing. I mean, again, like Sarah Manning, I've always loved Sarah. She's just such a wealth of knowledge. She's such an interesting person. She's the Qi Gong. She teaches Qi Gong as well as yoga and yin yoga. There's just so many amazing people in the yoga world I think we can look to. I've been inspired by Robin Lynch as well. She does a lot of Ayurveda, so she ran some courses while we were on the YTTY.
Soon to be a guest on this podcast series.
Yeah, love Robin.
Good introduction to Robin.
Yeah, she's such an interesting person.
Isn't she?
Yeah, and so anything to do with Ayurveda, love Robin. And I'm just thinking as well. Bernie Clark's amazing for yin yoga too, I have to say. And Judith Lassiter for restorative yoga, and her daughter Lizzie Lassiter. There's some amazing people out there.
I always ask that question. I get an inner smile. There's a certain, when you think about who your inspirations are, it just sort of draws you up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's something about being inspired by something or somebody.
Yeah, I'm inspired by Lorraine Rushton. I've known Lorraine for many, many years as well, and she's just never lost her enthusiasm. You know, she just, she's great, and what she's managed to offer to children in yoga is fantastic. The Yoga for Good Foundation is fantastic. That I have to say, look, thanks to them, I got a grant to help me publish this book, which was so welcome because I wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise. And they're offering grants for so many people. Moira Gordon there, she's wonderful. The whole kind of Yoga for Good, Adele Vincent, they're wonderful. So check out Yoga for Good as well. If you're a yoga teacher, they're always putting that they want to give grants to people who are offering things that are going to spread the good word and benefits of yoga.
So just on so much published work, I'm so impressed by that, and how that's enriched your own teaching and your own practice.
Cool. Interesting.
Questions without notes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, because I'm always on to the next thing, you know. I think I'm very Vata.
Yes.
Yeah, and one thing I've been doing a lot of seniors yoga, and yeah, my latest thing is actually because when I was doing my restorative yoga teacher training, one of the girls there was asking me a lot about the chair yoga that I teach, and she was asking me if I could write a chair yoga teacher training. And I'm actually halfway through that now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I've also been speaking to the amazing Beryl Broadbent, who you probably remember as well. And yeah, just maybe you know, doing something with her perhaps next year, and you know, taking yoga out there to people. But yeah, I guess I'm always looking to the future. I love the fact that I've written the books, but I'm always on to the next project as well. I guess that's something I need to be careful of with my yoga. I need to stay grounded. But yeah, I'm always looking at how can I enhance what I'm doing? I'd like to run more retreats as well. I don't have anyone at school anymore. And so for me, that is, I feel like I'm stepping into a new phase of where is that going to take me. I still do need to be home. I still need to do some support. But yeah.
You'll have a bit more time.
I will.
So it struck me that you've really managed to carve out a career in yoga that has complemented home life, professional life, and then must be a buzzing new ideas all the time. And so the ones that land and you say, yeah, I can make that work, in you go.
Yeah.
And so you have things that you think about, oh, I can't do that, or I don't think that's a great idea. Do they come up as well? And you let them go. And
yeah, honestly, it's ridiculously that's why that's why yoga is good for me. I really need to ground and center, because I can be spinning with I have lots of ideas. I'm a real ideas person, but not all of those ideas are very practical. So I kind of need to step back a little bit and just take some breaths and come back into my body and calm myself down. And I can see how Vata I can be when I'm out of whack. So, But I also love that, you know, you're only limited by your own imagination, aren't you? So, just step into it and do some fun stuff.
But all the words you're using and all the words you're using, the awareness you have, and knowing how to step back to, and why, that really helps as well.
It does help, It's a real balance. That's what yoga's all about, and that's right.
I've seen you a couple of times at Yoga Day, which has been held in Sydney annually every year.
Yeah, look, it's great, and wherever I can, if get the opportunity. That's why I try and do the Yoga Australia, the New South Wales connection. Sarah Manning came over recently and she ran some free events, so we'll help to organise those, and we got people together. The one that we're doing in Crow's Nest, that's to do with Japanese yoga, so that will be fantastic.
I've heard about that.
Oh, I love Japanese yoga. Yeah, look, I haven't done, well, I've done trainings with Lorraine Rushton because she does Japanese yoga. But yeah, it's I love it. It's a bit like yin in that you're looking at the meridians and the seasons. But it's a lot more fast paced. But it's great. That's why I love trying out all the different styles.
You mentioned that. We talked about Qi Gong earlier.
Yeah.
I've got a particular interest in Qi Gong. What drew you to that, and how do you incorporate that to a yoga? The yoga geometries and posture.
That's a good question. Well, basically, I think it was just through COVID, because I'm obviously very in touch with Sarah, and Sarah was teaching Qi Gong, and then she did a level 1 training. So how can I sign up to this? She ran it in Singapore, and I was the only person doing it online from Australia. But I guess the kind of yoga that I try to teach or I lean into a lot is some kind of slow flow yoga. And the Qi Gong is actually very similar in a way, you know, some of those sequences. So it actually lends itself a lot kind of more seamlessly.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I kind of almost do a bit of a fusion of slow flow and Qi Gong. And I guess it's a bit like yoga in that there are different schools, and I came from like the Qi dynamics, Qi Gong. Yeah.
Which is fundamental building blocks of energy and practicality that we all work on and enhance through practice.
Yeah, and it's really gentle on the joints, and it's all about the breath and movement of qi through the body. And I guess for me, I'm now post-menopause as well, so that's kind of where the area that I'm stepping into. So it's a really gentle, nourishing, nurturing practice. So it's really lovely to be able to combine that with some restorative yoga, with some slow flow, and breath work.
Where's Katie Brown heading off to? Apart from retreats you mentioned a minute ago, with some more time.
I don't know, really, to be honest with you. I think I'm at a bit of a contemplative stage right now, with my youngest just about to finish school. I'm not too sure. I'm just going to kind of just sit in the space for a little while, I think. I don't want to go running off in a direction that maybe isn't right for me, so I'm kind of enjoying having a bit of quieter time at the moment, a bit more reflective.
That's beautiful. And people can find you at katiebrownyoga.com.
That's right, yeah. And I'm on _ I think it is Katie Brown Yoga with the Instagram, and Facebook Katie Brown Yoga as well.
Excellent. And so many ways to get in touch, and there's so many ways to experience Katie's knowledge and her systems through written material, books that are coming out. Go and see where she practices in
come
the
along
Colorado
to the classes.
Cromer.
Yeah, I'm at Long Reef Surf Club and Narrabeen Surf Club, and I teach seniors yoga, and I've also got my pre-recorded classes. I've got a whole heap of those on my website as well. So I've done face yoga, and there's a calm class that I've put together just to help you feel calm, integrating a lot of the different practices that I've done over the years. Seasons, you name it.
Amazing. Well, as we're going into summer, as you can see, there's warmer suns just sort of inching its way across the sky, and that might be a lovely place to stop. And thank Katie for her time today. From Katie Brown, from Katie Brown Yoga, George Stone, the Yoga Teachers Talking Yoga podcast. And I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope everybody's drawn some inspiration from what you can do. If you just put your mind to it, stay with it, and believe in yourself. Is a great message from today's talk.
Thanks, Paul.
And so until next time, see you again soon.
Namaste.
Namaste. During our chat, Katie touched on some of her published works, and we thought as a bit of a bonus today, we'd let her give you a bit of an overview on each of them. Here she is.
Most of my books have actually been written when I've been in the car on my laptop waiting for my son to do his training. Yeah. And I just kind of go into another space. It's a bit like when I teach, sometimes I just tune into that energy and then I just write.
Let it flow out.
Yeah. And they've been guided relaxations mainly, but then I had this idea with the children's book to, so I've got this one here, which is the Relaxation Rainbow. And and the idea I had was each colour of the rainbow is a chakra colour anyway, and to do a relaxation based around each of the colours. Yeah, and I did a diploma in colour therapy too, because I really wanted to explore it. I think it's really fascinating. So, for example, red is if someone needs a little bit more confidence over something, they might want to try the red relaxation, and it kind of takes them on a really beautiful journey. And then the orange is all about healing. And I had this one mum say, my daughter had a bike accident, she had a stack, and then she said, Mum, can you read me the orange healing relaxation? And then the next morning she said, it really worked, the orange really worked. I feel so much better. I know. So I love doing that, and that was kind of, I guess, an example of how you can be creative, I think, with your yoga, and everyone comes to yoga. I think as a teacher, with other skills.
Yeah, totally.
And and it's great to just step into that and then create something that really resonates with you. So so I did this one, and I've got the other.
Yep.
I've actually got 5 books, but finished
Or long
1.
three.
Yeah. This was
I
guided
asked to bring these along and just put them on the screen, and we can roughly run through them, and they will be available to anybody.
Yeah, this is the guided relaxation, and this is one which has got relaxation scripts, but it's also got a little bit of restorative yoga, how to do it, breathing practices in there too. And then I've got this one, which is quite funny actually. This is Peaceful Pause, which is relaxations with your dog.
With the dog?
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. This is my dog here. Where is she? Let me have a look. That's her, Minty.
She's. Do the illustration?
I did.
Yeah.
One of my really, really good friends who I met traveling. I did backpacking for, oh my goodness, I think altogether about 2 years, all around kind of like Southeast Asia, and it's just amazing. And I met Ruth on one of the backpacking trips, and we stayed in touch. Yeah, so Ruth is based in the UK, and together we kind of worked, and she did she did Peaceful Pause, she did guided relaxation, she did Relaxation Rainbow, and she's an immensely talented artist.
How'd you go around getting those published? Did you know somebody? Or?
Well, the first book I ever wrote was called Mother Me, and that was published by Pam Macmillan, I was amazingly lucky to get a book publishing deal, and that was fantastic. And then kind of like with guided relaxation, I actually wanted to do it myself. I didn't want to have a publisher because it gave me more of the creative control. And so I actually preferred to do self-publishing. So I've got those 3 books, and I've also got one which is restorative yoga. And that is a companion to the course that I teach. I do a restorative yoga teacher training. So those 4 books I published myself, which I really enjoyed doing.
We hope you enjoyed hearing about Katie's amazing yoga teaching journey. Since our chat, Katie has stepped into the role of Creative Director at Thrive Journey, a global women's wellbeing platform. We've included a link in the descriptions. Her new role brings together the decades of experience teaching yoga and Qi Gong with her background as a magazine editor and journalist that we've just heard about, to help women access supportive practices from the comfort of their own home. Our next interview will be with Catherine Mayer, owner of Mad Mind Works. We look forward to seeing you then.